Hello, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, and beautiful viewers of the World Wide Web. Welcome back to the channel. This is Tune 215. Right now, we're in North Philadelphia. We're going to be doing a walking tour today. The weather's nice and cloudy. This is my type of weather. We're on 6th and Sedgley Ave. We're about to cross Sedgley, and we're going to go, as of now, southbound down 6th Street. Behind me is northbound. To my right is westbound. To my left is eastbound. We're going to continue heading towards the Hunting Park neighborhood, which is behind me. We're like borderline of the Franklinville neighborhood, Fairhill neighborhood, and Hunting Park neighborhood. We're within those three neighborhoods. Right now, we're walking towards Fairhill. Once we cross this little underpass, we'll be back in Fairhill. But I'm going to go straight, and then I'm going to make a left. And then we're going to walk through Randolph and a few other blocks. Yeah, I like walking in this type of weather. It's more breathable. It's warm. It's not cold, but the sun's not baking my forehead. It's not baking my body and my skin, you know what I mean? It's like cooking. It's a nice little wind breeze out here. As you can see, the plantation is moving. Plants everywhere, going with the wind. Right now we're walking under a train underpass. I believe the Amtrak travels above us, but if anybody knows specifically what train travels above us, comment in the comment section. I know it's not the Market Frankfurt or the Broad Street line. I always get the regional rails and the Amtrak confused. I swear I do. We got a factory on my right hand side. It's been closed for some period of time. A lot of graffiti on it. I smell like, whoa. I smell like, what was that? Like oranges? Some type of fruit. I just smelled something for like a split couple seconds. Wow, it smelled like strawberries. There you go. But not even like the artificial strawberry, like the air freshener. It smelled like real fruit. All right, we're on 6th and Glenwood Ave. I'm gonna make this left-hand turn. We got a little used car lot on my left-hand side. Looks like they're storing vehicles. It doesn't even look like they're selling them. Probably like the stash spot where they clean them out, repost them. Then we got a little detail spot on my right-hand side. Yeah, but there's tons of cars here that say for sale. And they're vacuuming in them and cleaning them and all of that. Well, EF Civic corner light was on the ground. Wow, I should have picked that up. I should have picked that up, but maybe it was on the ground for a reason. The mounts are probably broken. It was an amber corner light for a 1988 through 1991 Honda Civic. Could have been for the sedan, could have been for the hatchback, could have been for the CRX. I don't know. We're passing Fairhill Street. Now we're about to cross over Reese. This is where Reese and Randolph split. On my right-hand side, it's considered Reese Street. On my left-hand side is Randolph. This is where 3400 Randolph Street starts. It's actually a dead end. That's where the train, overpass that we walked by, that's where it traveled through. There's like detail shops, privately owned on this strip. There's about 3 or 4 of them. So if you want to get your car clean, if you want to get it pressure washed, you know, you can go to one of those detail shops. There's also a barber shop right here. We're about to hit 5th Street. We got the 3300 block of 5th Street to my right, the 3400 block of 5th Street to my left. The 3300 block of 5th Street be jumping. It be jumping. I mean, jumping. We got the 500 block of Glenwood Ave behind us, 400 block in front of us, but we're gonna make a left up 5th Street. I'm actually gonna cross right here. Waiting for traffic to go by. Got a red light. Got a big old factory right here on my right hand side. Got some residential homes on my left hand side. Got some horrible sidewalks in front of me. The grass and the weeds and leaves are not groomed. The sidewalks are cracked up. Glass, debris, rocks, trash, pebbles. A bird that's smushed. We got CLIP right here. The City of Philadelphia CLIP program. They paint over graffiti. These guys are probably just painting over graffiti. You guys always wonder, what do they do about it? Well, here you go. It's actually freshly painted. So the program consists of staff getting sent out to different areas of the city. You see how this side is clean? There's no spray paint. You look across the street, look at all that spray paint. So that program, that CLIP van you just saw, that is through, I'm assuming, taxpayer dollars, city funding. They pay the staff to go around throughout the city. They take a photo of every piece of graffiti they see, and they paint over it. Now, the thing is, what most people don't understand, we got Platinum Auto Sounds across the street. They don't understand that depending on the neighborhood, you know, there could be a high level of graffiti, meaning it don't matter how many times you paint over or buff it. A couple days later, the graffiti artist will come back and paint there again. You know what I mean? I know sometimes people say, Toon, but what do they do about all the graffiti? Why is there graffiti everywhere? Toon, please don't show the graffiti. Toon, please go through less neighborhoods that don't show graffiti. But I think graffiti is kind of a part of Philadelphia's culture right now. Philadelphia was probably like, you know, one of the early birthplaces of where the art developed. And still to this day, Philadelphia is a heavy hitter. So we just passed by El Principe restaurant. They make some good totones there with garlic. They use the real garlic. They don't use the powdered garlic. They use crushed garlic. Like, they crush it and they turn it into a paste. They warm it up. They put it on the totones and they taste banging. $5 for a tray. Tell them Toon sent you. Say no. They gonna go, who? Toon? Toon? Who is Toon? Nah, I don't tell them that my name's Toon. They got my top secret nickname. But yeah. Alright, so we just turned off of 5th Street. We're gonna be entering the 3500 block of Randolph Street. We're on Tioga and Randolph. We got Ritmo Musical right there. I guess that could be pronounced Ritmo. Maybe, I don't know. My Spanish isn't too good. We got a little church right here. We're gonna walk around the block, so I'll show you guys the church or whatnot. But right now we're walking through Randolph Street. I've did a couple driving tours through this neighborhood. If you're new to the channel, I've walked through here before also. Shout out to the family that supports the channel. You guys were interested in seeing what this neighborhood looked like in modern day time. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Appreciate having your support. We got an Iglesia Pentecostal on my right. It's like a private church. We got some residential homes on my right with porches. Some porches on my left. There's a 2-story block. I know a lot of people move out and they get interested in what it looks like compared to when they used to live here. Did it go uphill? Did it go downhill? These neighborhoods, for the most part, the last, I would say, 10, 15, 20 years, I think they stayed relatively the same. Probably was a little bit more corner boys out back in the 90s. But as far as the facade goes, maybe they painted a couple houses. But these houses are still the same houses from back in the day, from, 70 plus 80, 90 years ago. So not much changed in that sense. Maybe they might have added a little bit of decoration to the front. You see how they did a little bit of brick, some type of stonework there. Pretty much they just put cement and they kind of with their fingers carved bricks. But I used to know a couple buddies in my younger years I used to ride scooters with on this block. Tito, Puppy, and a couple other homies. They used to be out here on this corner. They pretty much held the scooter game on smash for this neighborhood. We're on Venango and Randolph. I can make a left here, but I think I'm gonna go straight, and then I'm just gonna make a left on Erie Avenue, and then make another left, come down 6th Street. Cause I like to do a little zigzag. But boy, am I loving this weather. Psh, I am loving it. It's like ba-da-da-da-da, I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm really loving it. Y'all don't know, I just did a walking tour of Manayunk. What? I picked the wrong day to do it. I mean, I knew it was gonna be that weather, and I insisted, even though I knew it was gonna be 90s plus. But let me tell you, 90-degree weather and those super duper steep hills do not go well together. No siree. Access denied. Refund. Thank you, buddy. Come again. No, yo, I'm telling you, it was dangerous, treacherous, like extremely ridiculous. All the is that you can add. Yeah, look, there's a lot for sale if anybody's interested in moving to the neighborhood. Or if you just want to invest. Yeah, it was dangerous, yo. The heat was bad. In the direct sunlight, and then walking up these crazy hills that's like roller coaster like inclines. The inclines were so steep. The school on my left was made in 1907. 1907, y'all. I don't know if you noticed, I'm not trying to do too much tilting of the camera. I turn right, I turn left, but I feel like I can keep a more fluid pace if I just don't stop and spend too much time at a specific area. About a week ago, no, but seriously, about a week ago, I did a tour on my page, college campus located in the middle of the hood. And for me stopping, I missed capturing an accident by like a half a block. So basically, if you watch that tour, I do go to the aftermath. We're on Erie Ave, y'all, on Erie and Randolph. I just made a left on Erie Ave. The school right now is called Bayard Taylor Elementary School. It's a public school. Does anybody know if it's still the same name as it was back in the day? I don't know. This school's always been here since I was a youngster. Obviously, if it was made in 1907, but yeah, y'all. I'm telling you, man. Like a half a block, not even. I was like a quarter of a block away from that car accident. If I wouldn't have stopped and slowed down to show extreme details. Oh, look at the kids. Cool. Yeah, man. So if I didn't stop to those kids playing, you saw that? Remember that game with the big rainbow tent thing? You would put it up, then you would go under and run under and all that. Yeah, back in the day games. We got Velas Agency across the street. We got Wells Fargo Bank. There was a little kid that was just hit here on a hit and run. Well, we got the Thundra. Thoahandra restaurant. Man, there's so much I could talk about. This restaurant's my homie Bootie's aunt's restaurant. So right there next to that bank, I'm gonna keep it pushing though. We got Sherwin-Williams Automotive Finishes. There was a child. Well, it was kind of the child's fault, but children will be children. He was crossing with his two older siblings. The kid, like a bolt of lightning, they was all in the middle of the street, and like a bolt of lightning, he goes and runs into the opposing lane, and a van hits him. And the CCTV footage sends him flying it basically cuts, but if you see where he got hit at compared to where his body landed at, he flew like 2 or 3 car lanes. And long story short, the driver got out. A bunch of people from the neighborhood got out. They looked at him. The driver checked on him, make sure he was okay. But casually in the footage, you see the driver get in and drive off. And then people start chasing after him. So look at another playground with kids. That's cool. It is currently Tuesday, guys. It's 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I decided to do this tour a little bit early because I want to do another 2 tours today. I gotta kind of get caught up. Before I talk about the tours and everything, let me get back to what I was saying about missing the accident. So if you guys go check out that tour from the college campus in the hood, you'll see that I literally just missed the accident. So basically, if I wouldn't have stopped as many times as I did, I would have probably caught the accident raw on camera, which could have been a good thing or a bad thing, but you know, that's the point that I wanted to make there. Hence why I'm not slowing down, tilting up, tilting down, tilting all around. But yeah, guys, I could talk about 20 bajillion things. Like right here, I was in this corner once. PD Crack, not many people know him, but this is where I had first met him at in person when I was in my orange Civic when I was only 16 years old. Right here on this corner, right here. It was Venango, 6 in Venango. Yep. Well, 6 in Venango, crossing over Venango, 600 block of Venango on my right, 500 block of Venango on my left. Yeah, I was in my orange Civic, and at the time, he was signed with The Rock. So this was back in 2003, 2002. He was a popular artist at the time, you know, relatively popular. He had local notoriety, respect, you know, local fame. He didn't get too mainstream yet, but he does got a couple, you know, music videos that was out on like MTV and all that. And he actually was from the same neighborhood that I was from, so that was always cool. I was intrigued by that. But I used to support him. I used to like playing his music, and I ain't ever expect that because I played his music that I would meet him one day. But I was in my orange Civic. Blah, blah, blah. Let me twist up this story, make it quick. I was dumping my music. I was behind him, and he was in front of me. And he noticed, and he was holding out traffic and everything. The light turned green. I'm like, honk, honk, beeping. Like, come on, boy, move. And I pulled by him to see what's up, and it was Petey. And he was like, young boy, he said, young boy, what you young boy, good looking young boy. I appreciate you playing my music and effing with me. And I'm like, oh, Petey, I mess with you, bro. I mess with you, bro. Like, obviously, because I was playing your music. And traffic was beeping on us, and we were just there having a quick little moment. So that was dope that he acknowledged me. You know what I mean? I guess he heard me playing his music. He was in front of me. He heard me behind him dumping it. So he was probably like, let me give this young boy some love. And I appreciated that. Because he could have kept on driving and just been low profile and just heard the music and not, you know, let me know that it was him. But that was cool. That was a cool experience, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we got this church right here, y'all. Let me see. Should I tilt up for y'all? Should I tilt up and keep walking? Should I break my own rules? As long as I don't tilt and start stopping and start spinning around and start doing 360s and start doing cartwheels, because I'd be like trying to show y'all every speck and grain and, you know, dot of sand that's on the ground. But you can't blame me. Let me turn left. I'm gonna turn left this way. We just made a left over here. We're on Tioga. I figured that I at least show y'all this, like, you know, figured that I had them supporters that they was like, you know, they said they've been watching for a while, and it was like, you know, too, how can we support you? They was willing to make a donation in order for me to do this little walkthrough of their old neighborhood. I'm like, man, your neighborhood, my neighborhood, Pop. Let me make sure the neighborhood good first, because some neighborhoods, I don't like to, you know, impede on people conducting their business ventures. You know what I mean? If you know what I'm talking about. So I gotta make sure that it's a neighborhood where I'm familiar with, you know, people see my face at one era or another. So that's what most people don't know when they watch these tours. We're passing 3400 block of Randolph. We're gonna go 5th Street this time. Probably turn up on Erie. Once we pass Erie, we'll be in Hunting Park. Yeah, so that's what most people don't know. They say, "Tune, man, you're brave." I'm like, bro, but this is my neighborhood, the neighborhood I grew up in. I don't know if you would consider that brave. You know? There's a difference from being brave and there's a difference from being stupid. You know? I'm brave, but I ain't stupid. So I do understand that there's certain areas where people aren't camera friendly. That's understandable, you know? So I don't point the camera in anyone's face. I just keep it pushing. I just keep walking, you know? But if they desire to be on camera, then I'm with it. Say, hey, who do you want to plug? Who do you want to give a shout out to? You want to shout out your neighbors, cats, dogs, brothers, sisters, fishes, stepdog? Go ahead. On 5th and Sedgley Ave. Now we're gonna go 5th Street. There you go. It's easy for me to walk through these neighborhoods. This is like all I knew growing up, you know? Ever since I was a pipsqueak, ever since I was able to travel, I was, you know, going around these neighborhoods, so it's only right. Not only do I want to document it for you guys, I want to document it for me and for my grandchildren to see. Whenever I have kids and grandkids and great grandkids and great grandkids, then you know they'd be like, look at pop pop. Look at Pop walking around. Pop was a crazy Pop. They were like, my great grandfather, he was strange for his time. Nah. Some people call it strange, some people call it unique. Passing Southern Baptist Church. Isaiah Pelzer Jr. is the Reverend. Now here it says Pastor Keith L. Pelzer. So should we take this up? Should I take this up for y'all? Or should I make this right? And I think we could take this up because we can make a right like at the corner. We can make a right. And then we can come down through like the little black blocks. Little back block. I feel like I gotta scream. Y'all can't hear me. Bust the window. Y'all can't hear me. Sheesh. I was about to lose my singing voice. Saying no, I'm no singer. But yeah. I just go through the back blocks and just, there's a lot of graffiti, like pieces, murals and things. I can probably show y'all that. But I would have to probably go up another 2 blocks to where the old Roberto Clemente was at and start from like around Luzerne and come down. The thing that I like about Philly, which I know, we got Faith Tabernacle Congregation on my left. I know there's cliques, there's groups, there's cliques, there's neighborhoods, there's hoods, where people, you know, are lifelong residents and they create their own little circle. And a lot of the time they could tell if you're not from around the neighborhood. But it don't matter how you dress or what color you wear. None of that is of importance here. So you can wear your favorite colors: red, blue, green, yellow, pink, orange, white, black. Whatever your color is, you can wear it and be cool, right? To my knowledge, I have never traveled all over the country yet, but to my knowledge, there's certain areas, let's say, for example, in Chicago, there's certain areas, let's say, in like LA, there's certain areas, and let's say maybe in maybe Jacksonville, Florida, just for example, or New Orleans. Like, I'm just throwing names up where if you go through with a certain color, people might look at you funny. We're on Erie, and that might not be a good funny. That might be like a bad funny, you know, because they might think that you repping a specific set or a specific gang. You know what I mean? So that's the part that I like about Philly, is that even though, you know, we're passing AP Auto Parts on my left. I've been there for quite some time. Even though Philly does have a high body count, and there's nothing to be proud of, it looks like we're on track for a 600 body year, meaning 600 murders in 1 year, which is nothing compared to Puerto Rico, because I literally just watched a segment the other day in Puerto Rico. They get 1,000+ murders a year. Dudes, 1,000? Puerto Rico, that's a little tiny island, y'all. And they get 1,000 murders? Like, food for thought. And we used to think that Philadelphia's crime rate, I mean, at least I used to think that Philadelphia's crime rate was pretty bad. You know what I mean? 550, 580, 490, 600 body count, you know what I mean? No, guys. Puerto Rico, they get 1,000 murders a year. And that's a little island, y'all. And them murders be gruesome. They be crazy. They be like shooting up the body 50 times, burning the body, tying the body to this, poking the body. They be doing some like torturous techniques. They be doing some torturous techniques. But then again, you think about the crime rate in Philly, you know, some of that is due to the, I'm not going to say all of it, a small percentage of it is due to the Puerto Rican hood life, you know what I mean? Because if you look at Fairhill, for example, Fairhill, the neighborhood we just left behind us, that's primarily Puerto Ricans. And there's a lot of crime in that area. I'm not saying it's only Puerto Ricans that are doing the shootings, but a lot of those shootings are via Puerto Ricans. You heard me? Via, like if Puerto Ricans were sending something, they were sending shots. But yeah, so yeah, there's certain areas in this world, you know. For example, I also saw another segment that says something about tattoos not to show in other countries. That means something else. So you guys know me, I have a bunch of tattoos. I got sleeves, I got my legs, all that stuff, you know, blah blah blah. We already know this. Passing in the 500 block of Butler. So I was watching the segment. I actually got a pretty good quote here not the other day, I'm making it sound the other day. It was like 8 years ago on my left hand side auto body shop. I remember that my vehicle got hit by a Penske truck, and I was asked to get a quote by the insurance company. They were going to cover it. So I got a quote by another insurance company, the ones that painted it. Since they didn't write the quote the right way on the right paperwork, it only came out to like $950. He said he wasn't going to accept it. He said he needed the legit one. So I went back to the guy who wrote it. I said, buddy, can you write me a real one? Like a correct one. He said, just go up here, blah, 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 and tell him that I sent you. So I went over there. I came here. I got the quote. The quote came up to like $1,560, almost $1,600, right? I took it to the insurance, or faxed it. They wrote out the check the next day without a question. I fixed the part myself for like $450. I was able to keep the difference. So y'all call that little accident a blessing or a curse, but my vehicle was parked. It's not even like it was me moving. My vehicle was parked when they hit it. And then before I get back to the tattoo story, this is Porky's Point. This is like one of the most popular spots in the city. Well, at least when it comes to Spanish people, like Puerto Ricans. They love eating there. There's rice, beans, tostones, patalillos, or empanadas, and all types of rice and chicken and beef and bistec and all types of stuff. They, like if you come here in the summer, it's packed. Super duper packed. But yeah. So back to the tattoo story. So I was watching a little documentation, and it said, do not go to Brazil and show your tattoos if your tattoos are of clowns. Oh, I tripped. That was priceless. I hope y'all got a chance to see it. And if you didn't get a chance to see it, you got a chance to hear it. I was like, ooh. I said, ooh. Yo, I straight up tripped, but it was a husky trip. That's the thing. This camera stabilizer doesn't even make my trips look like trips. They're like, Tune, you didn't even trip hard. Nah, I almost broke my whole ligament. Like, Yeah, but I had to play it off and keep walking because I got like 10,000 people watching me behind me. But anyway, so yeah, they said, yo, that trip sent the whole shockwave through my soul. We're on Pike. I'm gonna make this right on 400 West Pike. Wow, we got that nice Accord up there, slammed down. You see it? I don't know if y'all can see it. You see it? You remember? So that lime yellow Accord. But we're gonna make this right. This piece right here was painted by Bark. I actually know who Bark is. This one on my left. And he came out on my graffiti documentary many years ago. He's an OG in Philly graph. I actually know him. And yeah. So anyway, back to the story. Because clown tattoos in Brazil means you're a cop killer. What? Like, seriously? And you know why that's a downside for me? Because my sleeves consist of clown tattoos on both sides. They gonna straight up like hold me captive, and they gonna lock me up talking about some you come from America, we don't like you. I'll be like, no, bro, like, bro, clowns in America, or at least in my eyes, signify, whoa, dude, you about to reverse right into me. Oh man, this horn. Hold on, we'll talk shortly. So noisy. So noisy, yo. Sheesh, thank you. So like I was saying about clowns. Clowns in my eyes signify covering up pain, putting on mask. Oh my sweet baby Jesus. What's up with all this noise? Look at up there, they're doing some type of work. But clowns signify like covering up your pain, covering up your trauma, putting on a mask, putting on a smile to entertain for everyone else. I mean, to be an entertainer. I think that's some of the dark history of clowns, you know what I mean? Clowns, you always see them smile. That's why sometimes they got that sad face, but the face is still painted with like a smile. So yeah, that's how it was for me growing up. That's why I got a lot of clowns. Like, I like clowns. Clowns are decent, especially like the evil looking, diabolical looking clowns. I think they're neat. Like the clowns from outer space, the movie with the clowns on the ice cream truck. I think they're neat looking, like they look cool. You know, I've always been into like that type of artwork. I think it looks cool. We're on Lawrence and Butler. Yeah, but you know, to each his own. But I like that type of artwork. It looks neat. Oh snap, gunshots. Look at that car got shot up. Look at that. Wow, look at one gunshot. I'm assuming that's a gunshot. That's 1, 2, 3. Wow, 4, 5, 6. I know I said that I wasn't gonna stop, but I think that was worth stopping for. What do you think? That's horrible. They were trying to make sure whoever was in that vehicle was no longer gonna be able to operate the vehicle. But yeah, guys, so that's why I got the clowns. I was going through a lot of trauma, emotional trauma. Now I look at it, I mean, I think it was overcomable things that I could have, you know, which I not only. He said, baby, I see you everywhere, baby. Passing the 400 block of Cary Street. He said, I see you everywhere, baby. You know, that was funny. But anyway, yeah, so I went through a lot of loss growing up. A lot of funerals, a lot of pain, a lot of emotional. At the time, for a 17, 16, 15-year-old, it was, you know, traumatizing, I guess. So I went through a lot of pain. So the only way I could take it out was needles on the flesh, and not the other needles that people in the Kensington using, but tattoos. You know how people said tattoos hurt them? They never hurt me. They were like soothing, you know what I mean? They were soothing. I don't know if you know what I mean, because if you don't have no tattoos, then you don't know what I mean. Or if you shun or frown tattoos, then you don't know what I mean. But for somebody who understands what I'm talking about, they understand that tattoos feel like therapeutic in a sense. They feel therapeutic. So yeah, that's what it was for me. I'm actually due for a new set of ink work soon. You might want to subscribe to my Tune Be Chillin' channel, because I'm finna on documenting that experience. But yeah, yo, so that sucks that if I go to Brazil, you know, because I wouldn't mind one day in my lifetime visiting Brazil. You know, that'd be neat to walk on a Brazilian beach. That'd be gnarly. So we're right here on Erie Avenue. Now, I wonder if I can take you guys through here. Okay, I've actually walked through here before. On camera, I should say. It sounds like this is my first time, but no. Like I said, the neighborhood I grew up in. So I've actually been pulled over right here on this bridge while eating a platter. I was in my vehicular device with my wife, and she could verify this story. Hold on, I'm trying to plot a way to get in here. I think this is the only way to get in here, ladies and gentlemen. Should I go in here for y'all? It says no trespassing. But this used to be like a main open street, guys. And then they sat here and they just started doing some like road work. I wonder if I can get up here without hurting myself, though. Give me a second, y'all. Let me try not to hurt myself. There you go. Because y'all know I just had surgery in between my legs, so definitely don't want to go back for that again. I should take you guys on this little walk, a little detour. But yeah, me and my wife, we literally just picked up some food, and I saw them. I was driving down 5th Street, 5th and Luzerne, and the cop drove right by me, and I saw them. They made a U-turn from my rear view. I saw them. So I cut left through that little block with the graffiti that we just went through now. I cut left and I made a little past Barks piece. Then I made a right down that little block. And I came through here and I made this left. When I came this left, they pulled me over like right here. I think like right around here. Cause this is usually a main street, guys. This is Erie Avenue. So for them to close off a main street, for me sucks. Cause when you gotta go somewhere and you know, you're pressed on time and they block off one of your main streets that send you through a detour that funnels you through the most gridlockiest traffic ever, like a gridlock traffic jam. Yeah, this be in the way. But anyway, right here they pulled me over and I had a platter in my hands. I was eating. Cop pulled me over, said, "Where you just blah 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 just here?" I'm like, "No sir, we just got back from eating food. Look, we got some food. I say, "You want some?" I pointed the platter to him. I said, "You want some?" He said, "No." I'm like, dude, like you got me confused with someone else. And he looked at my paperwork and then he let me go. Yeah, that would suck if I just walked through like some type of trap. Oh no, right here, boom. I'm supposed to say yeah, because imagine if I get stuck, then I gotta go back. Oh man, now I gotta climb something else. Anyway, before I climb something else, let me just take a little breather right here. I know I said I wasn't gonna do too many breathers, but I gotta climb again and I gotta pace myself. You know, I had stitches between my legs, so doing this stretching, I gotta be careful. I don't wanna rip open those stitches. It's only been, I got surgery on the 22nd of April. It's been like a month and 3 or 4 days. So the wound is still considerably fresh. No trespassing. But Tune just did it for you guys. For the YouTubers of the World Wide Web. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, we're about to hit 2nd and Erie. That's where Roberto Clemente is at. Then we'll be in the neighborhood of Edison High School too. Passing the 3600 block of North 3rd Street. That's that right over there. Shout out to all the homies from around the way. You know. Chochi's Upholstery. and plastic covers. Yo, I was thinking about getting some plastic covers for my YouTube pillows. I got 2 YouTube pillows, and low-key Jersey dog hair be getting all over the pillows. And I was just literally talking about, how about we get some those plastic covers that the old folks, no offense to older folks, well, I should say the Spanish old folks, because I know the Spanish old ladies, like the Puerto Rican ladies, the viejitas. Viejita means like an old lady. The viejo means old man, viejita means old lady, I think, if I'm correct. They be wrapping their whole couches in these plastic covers, yo. It'd be like a white couch. They wrap it in a plastic cover. 10 years later, the couch would be like tan yellow, and the plastic be all yellowy. Cause you know the plastic is designed to protect the couch, but you know it also. Oh man, it's so noisy. Give me a second, y'all. Doing some welding out here. American Food Service Department on my left. Oh, look at that little work light. Oh, y'all can't even see it. That's the reason why sometimes like I would like tilt the camera and I would do all of that just so that y'all can see every detail that I'm talking about, rather than just me, you know, saying a detail and you're not seeing it. So, but what's up, doggy? So, yeah, but it kind of slows me down. So I try not to focus on it. I think I'm able to get through so much more if I just don't focus on objects in specific. You watch some of my tours, I'll like stop for like a whole couple seconds to a minute to focus on the subject, you know what I mean? Some people like that, some people don't. All right, we're on, what's this? 2nd and Erie. I can keep going straight, I can make a left. I can make a left now. There's a long, extremely boring road right here, but I can get off right next to Edison High School. Or I can go straight right here. We're on 2nd and Erie. I'm gonna go straight. We're gonna pass Roberto. We'll pass, what's that? Burger King. We'll make a left past the cemetery. We'll make a left past Edison. Then we'll end up back on 5th Street, where the old Roberto Clemente was at. We got the bus next to us. We got the ice cream truck. This is called Roberto Clemente Way. That's because Roberto Clemente, the middle school, is right over there. Now, make note, I remember when I used to go to Edison back in my younger years. There used to be a lot of fights right out here in Roberto Clemente and in the Burger King parking lot. And then there was CEP right up the block. So we had 3 schools in this little area. We had Roberto Clemente Middle School. We had Thomas Alva Edison Ferreira High. Thomas is one of, however you phrase it. Thomas Alva Edison High School, something like that. Or you could just say Edison High School, because that's what we used to call it. We never called it like the whole name. So Edison, and then you also had CEP. CEP was a disciplinary school. So basically all the worst kids from throughout the city, from all the other schools that would, let's say, get expelled, or I don't know if it would be as deep as expelled, but would get kicked out of school and get suspended for multiple fights, for problems and everything, they would send them to CEP. That was right up the block, right past Edison. From here, Edison is 1 block away. From Edison, CEP was 1 block away. It was on front end Hunting Park. So with that being said, dropping 3 schools all within 1 strip of each other didn't always work out too well. Hold on, it's so noisy. Passing Roberto Clemente Walk. But what happened was CEP would tend to fight Edison students and Roberto Clemente students. Or there'll be like Roberto Clemente students fighting each other here. Or there'll be Edison students fighting each other here. Or they'll be like, yo, meet me at Burger King at 3 o'clock. And they'll go to Burger King. They'll really fight. There's a Burger King right here. Or Roberto Clemente and CP, or let's just say CP and Edison would have like wars right here. So it'd be like full-blown Royal Rumbles. Like 15 students versus 15 students. Yeah, a bunch of craziness would take place on this corner right here. But I don't think CP's there no more. Last I checked, they moved CP. I don't even know if CP's still a thing. But I know Edison's still there. It got picked up by a charter school. When I went there, it was a public school. And Roberto Clemente, to my knowledge, Roberto Clemente was a public school. I don't know if it's still a public school or did the charter system pick it up too. He on an e-bike. Look at him. He casually riding without having to pedal. Yeah, I remember one time, it was on the news, the school we just passed, in Roberto Clemente. One student brought, I guess, his mom's pills. He had Xanaxes, you know, the blue pills. They prescribe them to people for anxiety, depression, things like that. Yo, he gave all his classmate friends Xanaxes, and they was all wasted. They was all high, and the teacher started noticing it. And I don't know, it was like a classroom worth of students, all high. It was like 20, 30 students that some of them started throwing up. Some of them reported being sick. Yep, it was on the news. That was crazy. And look, right here is that Burger King that I was telling you about. This Burger King was here when I used to go to school here in 2003. Yeah, I used to travel by this Burger King all the time. One time, I remember walking back from school. I was coming from this direction right here. We're on front end Erie Ave. On my right is southbound, on my left is northbound. In front of us is eastbound, behind us is westbound. Right here, I was coming northbound, traveling southbound right here. I crossed the street right there in front of the Ronald McDonald House. And I looked on the left side where that black gate is at. I found a crispy $20 bill. Yep. Tune found 20 bucks for free. And you know my saying, if it's free, it's for me. That orange Civic that I was talking about earlier, that I saw PD crack in, it had rims, it had system and all that, like I hooked it up. When I took it out and took it right here to this dealership. This dealership, hold on, let me wait till this guy gets away because he got music on. This dealership, that yellow building, now it's like me racing him. Hold on, give me a second. Because he got a little system. We're next to the 57 bus stop. Yeah, he got a little system, and I'm not trying to compete with him. But right there, that used to be an alarm shop. And when I got my little Civic out of the paint shop when I was 15 and a half, I took it there to get an alarm system done. And it was actually a bad alarm system. I had to go to the Asian old couple spot that my papa used to go to. But, you know, I was young and fiebre. I had the fever. Fiebre is short for fever. So I took the vehicle out from getting painted on my birthday. And I took it in when I was 15 and a half, because that's when I got my permit, at 15 and a half. There's a little car wash right here, a little private joint. And then so they took like a month or two to paint it, and I got it out when I turned 16. Literally the day of my birthday, I got it out, and I had a fever, so I took it there. Because I didn't want to wait. You know, when you're 16, you're impatient. So yeah, yep. I got a little cheap alarm there, but the reason why I said it was a bad move, because it started malfunctioning like a few months later. The heat, the extreme heats kept on setting it off. It started going wacky. It was like a wacky alarm system. You would sneeze next to the car and it would just go off. And yeah, I actually got pulled over by the police right here before and got that same car we're talking about impounded and towed by the police of Philadelphia. True story. I'm telling y'all true stories. Because I used to go to school right around here. My pop gave me that car when I was a youngster. I learned how to drive at 9. We all know this. If you're not familiar with the channel, well, that's your first time hearing it. But he taught me how to drive at 9. He gave me the car at 13. I started taking off with it early. That's when I got my first set of tickets when I was 13. When I went to Edison right here, I was 15 and a half. I had my permit, so he let me drive it to school when I had my permit because I wasn't far from here. But one day I left school, I don't know, I think early, and I had a gut feeling I got a little sister that's buried in here, in this cemetery. Yeah, I got a little sister that's buried in this cemetery. My high school is right across the street from a cemetery, so that goes to show you. But yeah, so I had got out of school. I had a weird feeling in my gut. You know how they say when you got a gut feeling, follow your gut? I didn't follow my gut. I guess at the time when you're 16, or at the time I was 15 and a half, you don't understand that gut feeling thing. So I had this weird butterfly feeling in my stomach. But when I got out of class, I left. I pulled right out of the parking. And when I was coming to this, it's like right in front of me. My bad, y'all. My hand came out in the shot because I was real into the story. I was pointing at where I was turning it on. But right in front of us, you'll see because we're about to pass my school. I was at that stoplight. I had my turn signals on because I always know you got to put your turn signals on 100 feet before you make the turn to notify the people behind you. I had my turn signals on. The officer said I didn't. That's because I had clear lights. I had now what's considered the rare JDM Japanese lights. For the EF Civic, it's basically a clear light panel and you got to get colored bulbs. But in the daytime, your whole tail light system looks clear. Well, anyway, bright orange car, rims, tint, system, and some all white lights, white headlights, white corner lights, and white tail lights. So I had my turn signals on. He said that I didn't have my turn signal on. It was a sunny day. That's my side of the story. It was sunny, so maybe you couldn't see it, officer, but he didn't care. I was turning right here, just right here where this Verizon truck is turning. I was turning. We're on front of Luzerne. We got engine 55, ladder, what's this, 22? Let me double check. We're right here next to Signorama on my right. They make signs. And yeah, engine 55, ladder 22. That was the bus stop over there, the 57 bus stop. We used to wait there. And CEP used to walk by this school all the time. So there was always fights that was blowing out. But yeah, so that was my story. Like, no, officer. Like, I ain't tell him no, officer, but hello, officer. Like, how can I help you? You know you didn't put on your turn signal when you were at that light. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And he said when I was coming out the parking, I didn't put on my turn signal. That sounds just petty. Like you just picking with the coolest looking car on the student parking lot. Like why you hating on me, officer? I felt like he was just waiting for me to leave, and then he profiled me. Hold on, let me wait till this wind dies down. It's so windy. Anyway, I'm going to try to proceed with the story, but I'm going to speak up a bit. That was the student parking lot. But to be honest, that day, I wasn't even parked in the student parking lot. I was parked right here on the street side. But there was plenty of students that were parked on the street side, too. You know, not all of the student cars could fit in the parking lot. That was our student parking lot. We had a handball court back there, a track. There you go, Thomas Alva Edison High School. That was the name. I didn't even remember the name of my own high school. I graduated from here in 2006. And yeah, I was parked right here. Like, I would say, anyway. Yeah, man, long story short, they pulled me over. He supposedly pulled me over just for the turn signal. Boom, he hit me with just a permit. So that's not being a licensed driver. You get a $365 ticket for that. Then you get towed. He told me, but at the same time, I contacted my pop. I said, can I contact, because the vehicle's still in his name. Can I contact the owner of the vehicle? My pop flew up there, and he asked if he could drive the vehicle home. So I was parked right here, guys. Right here. Across the street from the school. And he said I pulled out of the parking with no signals, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, my pop asked him, can he, take the vehicle home? So we can avoid the tow fees and we just take the ticket for being a non-licensed driver. Nope, officer wasn't having it, because then he said, well, how are you going to get your other vehicle home? You're not going to let your son drive that one. Because my pop would have low-key would have let me. I used to drive all his cars new. New from the dealer, old cars, whatever he bought. I was my pop's second driver. So if we went to the dealership and in 2002 we bought a new 2002 vehicle from the dealer, we were going up there in one car together. When we would come back, I would either drive the car we went up there in, or on a few occasions, I drove the new vehicle. So, yeah, this was my high school, y'all. It was like a little campus. It was like a little campus. That was the lunchroom over there. It was 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. You didn't start getting in the shops to 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. Shops for like cosmetology, auto body, filmmaking, vending, air conditioning. I think there was probably a few other ones that I missed. Welding. But yeah, I participated in, obviously, the filmmaking shop. And then welding for 6 months. I didn't really like the welding, even though it's a good skill to have and they get paid top dollar. I didn't like being behind a mask and striking the arc blind, because if you're not familiar with welding, you need to wear a special mask to protect your eyes, because when you strike that welding arc, you can go blind from staring at the arc of the weld. And it's dangerous. That's just a dangerous profession in general, even though they get paid some of the best money. Like straight out of high school, one of my buddies in 2003 started making 26 bucks an hour, like straight out of high school as an 18-year-old. And then he went up to like the 30s. I don't know how much he's making now, but at the time that seemed like a pretty good income for a kid. But like underwater welders get paid like $80 to $150 an hour. Is it me, or is it so freaking noisy? It's noisy between the wind and just the ambience. Oh boy. But yeah, guys. So that was the school. Yo, I gotta tilt down for this. I just gotta show y'all this. Y'all see that? That's a juice. That's a cocktail juice. I literally just saw a highlighted segment. I didn't watch it, but I know the cover art basically showed this gentleman who makes $20,000 a month off of selling street cocktails. So pretty much those hug juices, but they put alcohol in them and they keep them in a cooler. He over there burning out. Yeah, those street cocktails, they keep them in a cooler and they go around the hood selling them. They actually sell that here in Hunting Park, like in the summer or in the spring. You go to Hunting Park, you can get those cocktail juices. Yo, looking right here. There's a. Oh my she. Why is their vehicle so noisy? All that noise for apparently nothing. But look at y'all. So there's a municipal service building here, and there's also a police headquarters or something of that nature there. Well, anyway, recently they literally just I would say like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago maybe, there was somebody driving his bicycle right in front of the police building, and somebody came up to him, shot him, took off with his bike. Yup, right in front of that building, y'all. Like 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago, that just happened right here. Yep, and he had to escape this route or behind me, because you see where he came in the video, he shot him from that way, he headed this way. But the CCTV camera footage shows the guy on the bicycle, and then it shows somebody, was he walking his bicycle or was he riding it? All I know is the headline was, dude gets robbed for his bicycle right in front of a police station. And when you saw the footage, it all happened right out front. It's like, what, bro? You ain't had no like fear. Like, you was right in front of a police station. And then at that, for a bicycle? Was you that pressed on time? Yo, the police just drove by. I'm sure this underpass looks spooky to some people, but guess what? When we used to go to Edison, hundreds of kids used to walk under this every morning, every afternoon, and every evening. Because maybe for Twilight, there was also Twilight classes. Twilight was after 3. So the students would come to get their credits at 3 o'clock, and they would get out at 5, 6. But yeah, students would, girls, boys would always walk through this every single day. And still to this day, I'm sure that they still walk through here because that school's there. All right, we're on Rising Sun and Luzerne. That big, colorful building right there used to be the original Roberto Clemente. Remember we saw Roberto Clemente on Erie Avenue? The school where I said the kids gave out the Xanax pills to their classmates? Well, that was the original school right there. The building didn't look that pretty. It was abandoned for many years, and they just rehabilitated it within the last 2 to 3 years. Brought it back to life, and now it's called Roberto Clemente Homes. And I believe it's like affordable senior housing, and they hooked up this whole square block. They hooked it all up. We got a KFC across the street. We got a Taco Bell. We got a Dunkin' Donuts. We got a Cousin's Supermarket. Yeah. This is right around the corner from Hunting Park, which is like one of the popular hangout areas here in the city. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our 1 hour mark. For those of you who are new to the channel, I always try to keep my tours to 1 hour long. I want to say thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to show some love. Hit that thumbs up button. Every thumbs up helps out a lot, guys. It helps this video get saw, and it lets YouTube know to recommend this to other viewers. So please hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. If you have any memories, any stories, any knowledge about the neighborhood, comment in the comment section so that other viewers from the World Wide Web on the other side of the globe can read your comment and vibe out with you, you know, and learn from you. I learn from you too, you know. We learn from each other. So this is your homeboy Tune. Tune Dollars, Tune Ski, Tunism, Bad Tune, Super Tune, Tune One, Tunage, Tuner, Tune Be Chillin', Tuning Califragilistic Expialidocious, and I'm tuning out.